Great news.
What?
The Dacia Sandero is almost here.
When?
Next year.
Great. Now, the Toyota Urban Cruiser...
Right, here's something that doesn't happen very often, about once in a lifetime, the new Bristol. OK, this is the Bristol Fighter. Actually, it's the Bristol Fighter Mark II, because the first one was launched in 1916 and it was a biplane. But this looks quite a bit more promising. It's a two-door gull-wing supercar. It's going to cost £230,000, 210 miles per hour, V10 engine, 525 something brake horsepower.
That's the same engine they put in a Dodge Viper, isn't it?
Essentially, it is. Well, actually, no. Well, it's essentially the same, but it actually develops more power in Bristol for some reason.
How come?
I don't know. Mahogany crankshaft or something traditional like that. But anyway. Now, in this plastic suitcase is a folding, electrically assisted bicycle. It's called the Gockicle.
James, I think you'll find it's called the Go Cycle. Not the Gockicle, you idiot.
That says Gockicle. Anyway, never mind. It costs £1,200 and, as you can see, it is... Oh. It appears... I thought it was a folding bicycle. It's a bloody bag full of bicycle components. Have I got to build it?
Would you like me to give you a hand with it?
Oh, that's the most terrifying thing Jeremy Clarkson can say to anyone. No, I don't.
I wonder if maybe you two should go away. This is what I bought. It's a 1972 Rolls-Royce Corniche fixed head with coachwork by H.J. Mulliner Park Ward. And it's everything I look for in a classic luxury car. It's quiet, it's supremely comfortable, and it's quintessentially British. Frankly, if you have £25,000 to spend on classic luxury and you don't buy one of these, you're an imbecile. You will see a gentleman explorer's quarters. It's got a globe, it's got a telescope, it's got maps, it's got music.
It's a library, James.
Yeah. Look at the range of books.
You don't need when you're looking for the source of the Nile. Number one, library.
Well, if you look carefully, you'll see that some of the books are about exploring, plus there's a selection of English poets to read in bed.
Do any of the books contain the exact location of the true source of the Nile, in which case it's a rather wasted exercise anyway?
No, but it's inspiration.
So there's a library in the front.
Yes.
And I'm guessing in the back some kind of dungeon.
Whoa!
That's not a dungeon, is it?
It's living quarters combined with a workshop.
I'm genuinely astonished.
Would you like me to run through what's in there?
Not really. May I just sneak in? Do you mind?
Yes.
That doesn't look terribly comfortable.
It's been good enough for the army for several hundred years.
And this will just make you itch?
It's an itchy blanket. It's designed to remind you how lucky you are. I loved Bristols when I was a kid for some perverse reason, and for...
No, they've got confused, James.
You loved Bristols when you were a child.
When I was a kid, I loved Bristols, and then I got into cars, and I quite fancied the idea of a Bristol. And it's quite good, because now I actually live about 1.5 miles from the Bristol showroom, which is in South Kensington. It is the only Bristol showroom in the world, and I thought, I'm going to go up there, and finally, I'm going to drive a Bristol. They wouldn't even let me in the showroom. And do you know why?
Why?
Because I know you git. Absolutely. The question now, though, was which city? Because we'd already done London, obviously. So Jeremy got a map and a pin, and because he's very tall and he has monkey's arms, that is where we ended up.
Движение по Тверской улице должно...
Фирма Трансеп.
Новости Москвы.
This is St. Petersburg in Russia, the most northerly big city in the world. And this is the car I'll be using. This is the two-seat Renault Twizy. It costs just £7,000 and it's an all-electric car designed specifically for the narrow streets of Europe's cities. With this, I can't really lose.
James then said he reckoned he could drive a lap of our track in a car whilst in a sleeping bag.
Can you?
Well, let's find out.
Well, here we go.
Here I am driving along in a Suzuki Swift, exactly as you were.
Are you wearing normal clothes, James?
No, I'm in a sleeping bag. Corner, shuffling wheel, shuffle, 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 shuffle.
Now, just tell me, was it easy?
There was only one problem, actually. That blithering idiot Hammond has turned the heater up to full blast because it was just funny. And, of course, I can't reach the knob. The real problem, however, is that the engine was only lubricated when you had your foot on the throttle. Because in a two-stroke, the engine oil is mixed with the fuel. So if there's no fuel going in, there's no oil going in. Now, this wasn't an issue when you were driving along on the level like this or going up a hill, because you always had your foot on the throttle and you always had the fuel and oil going in. However, once you were going downhill like this, you had a problem because you had to brake with your left foot, but whoa, keep the power on a bit with your right foot so that the engine's still got some oil. Whoa, this is very tricky.
James, are you still working on that thing?
Yes.
Do you want to go on this?
No.
It's great once you've got the hang of it.
No.